Shalom. The central historical narrative of Shavuot is that of the giving of the Torah. And so, since that is, I have a quiz developed by Rabbi Ron Roth of questions pertaining to the Torah, the meaning of Torah, and the Torah scroll itself. I'll give you the question, give you a little pause, and then I'll give you the answers. So, for number one, according to the Talmud, the verse from Exodus 15:22, which is they traveled 3 days in the desert, they did not find water, what does that mean? Well, the answer is there's two traditional explanations. One is our ancestors had trouble finding water, even though there was a well of water that Miriam, Moses' sister, had prepared for them, and that the Torah should be read publicly on Shabbat, Monday, and Thursday. In other words, there shouldn't be more than 3 days without any water. Okay, number two, water being Torah. It says in Isaiah 55, that all who are thirsty come and drink. All right, number two, in ancient times, many people did not understand Hebrew. Therefore, what happened? How did they hear the Torah reading then? How did they understand it? Well, the answer is there's an official called a Miturgamon, who translated the reading as it was taking place, an old ancient Yemenite tradition. Number three, the rabbis say the reading of the Torah reenacts what happened on Mount Sinai when Moses received the Torah. This is reflected in the following. What happens to reflect that? Well, the answer is that when the Sefer Torah is taken from the Ark, we read a minimum of 10 verses to parallel the 10 Commandments. Okay, number four. What ink used by the sofer, the scribe, to write the Sefer Torah, what's it made out of? What materials? The answer is gum Arabic, copper sulfate crystals, and gallnuts. That's a toughie. Number five. The parchment of the Sefer Torah must come from, what's the answer? A kosher animal, and an animal that obviously cannot read Hebrew. And number six, to ensure the letters will be straight and equally spaced, the scribe will, what does the scribe do? How does the scribe make sure the space is equally divided up? They will incise 43 thin lines across the width of the parchment and incise 2 longitudinal lines at the end of each page. Now, number seven, after the Torah has been completed, the sheets of parchment are held together how? How do they hold the whole thing together? And the answer is giddin, a special thread made of the tendon issues from the foot and muscles of a kosher animal, and strands of parchment pasted on the top and bottom of the page. 8. What is the belt that's used to keep the Torah from opening called? Answer, girdle or wimple. Number 9. There are 2 types of ornaments that are put on the top of the rollers, the Eitz Chaim, tree of life. They are called, what are they? Well, one is a crown-looking thing called a keter, crown. The other are one individual item on each pole called rimonim. 10. The English translation of the 2 correct answers to question 8 are, what are the translations of keter and rimonim? Crown and rimonim are pomegranates. Also, grenades, but we don't like that answer. 11. The person who reads the Torah is called a Bal Koreh. 12. When a mistake is found in the Sefer Torah, what's the answer? What happens when you find a mistake in the Sefer Torah? The item mentioned in question 8 is tied outside of its mantle. Okay, number 13. The order of being called up to for an aliyah is Kohen Levi Yisrael in a traditional synagogue. However, if there's no Levi in the congregation, what happens? Well, then traditionally a Kohen is called to take the second aliyah. 14. A worthy Torah scholar should receive an important aliyah. So which ones? Shlishi, which is the third aliyah, or Maftir, which is the last aliyah in the reader of the Haftorah. Number 15. 2 siblings are not called consecutively to the Torah because of, 1, fear of the evil eye, that if the evil angel sees 2 siblings, they'll say, oh, that family is too blessed. Or, this is interesting, to prevent a near relative from testifying together, which is forbidden by Jewish law, since being called to the Torah attests to its truth. 16. The rule above about not being called for consecutive aliyot to the Torah also applies to grandparent and grandchild and parent and child. Well, not all synagogues observe that, but that's the tradition. Number 17. Which of the following is called up to the Torah first if everyone's present? A man whose wife just had a baby, excuse me, a person with a yortzeit, a bar bat mitzvah, or a bridegroom to be married the following week. Well, the order is first a chatan, a bridegroom, number 2, a bar mitzvah, number 3, baby naming, and 4, a yortzeit. Now, which cycle of the reading of the entire Torah was done where? Where was that done? Well, in Babylon, in Iraq, they used to read the Torah once a year, and in Palestine, in ancient times, they read the Torah once in 3 years. It took 3 years to read it. Number 19. We are uncertain why a portion from the prophetic books was read after a Torah portion. But we do know that Haftorah means completion. It doesn't mean half a Torah, it means completion. Now, we stand when the Torah ark is open, and also when the Torah is being carried or moved, and when the rabbi says so. Although in my congregation, sometimes they don't. They stand when they want to. Number 21. And here's the tiebreaker. I'm going to tell you a certain holiday, and you tell me how many aliyot to the Torah are standard on that holiday. Yom Kippur? 6, unless it's Shabbat. Shabbat? 7 plus maftir, but you can always add on Shabbat. Normal weekday? 3. Weekday Yom Tov? Holiday or Chag? 4. Rosh Chodesh? 4. And what about a regular Chag, like first day of Pesach, unless it's Shabbat? 5. So that's the answer. So the priority would be the lowest number is the weekday, then Rosh Chodesh, then a weekday Yom Tov, then Yom Kippur, then Shabbat has the most. Well, I hope you enjoyed that exam.